Hello everybody, Robert Preston Jr. here with DouglasNow.com, and here are today's top stories. Our news break today is brought to you by the Martin Center Preservation Company. This Friday night, February the 11th, Dumpster Funk will be in town. They will be here as a part of their Where Do We Go From Here tour. They're a New Orleans jazz and funk band featuring Ivan and Ian Neville of the world-renowned Neville family. Extremely talented musicians, really good band, really neat event here for Douglas and Coffee County. Eric Brigman and the Friends of Mofro are special guests. They will open up for Dumpster Funk. And many of you know Eric. He's a Douglas native. He plays with J.J. Gray and Mofro. He's been here with J.J. Gray twice when they've played in the past, and he is bringing some of his Mofro bandmates with him to open up for Dumpster Funk. And you just never know who those friends might be. He hasn't said, but there could be some very, very special people show up here to set the stage for the Nevilles and Dumpster Funk. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com. That's eventbrite.com. Or you can get more information at the Martin Center Preservation Company's Facebook page. Monday morning, we had something that I don't think I have ever seen before. We had two county commission meetings back to back at the Coffee County Courthouse. The first meeting at 9:30 was a regularly scheduled monthly meeting of the Coffee County Commission. And then the meeting that followed, which was scheduled for 10:30, but actually began about 11 o'clock, was a special called meeting with the Coffee County Commission and the Coffee County Board of Education to discuss the new voting maps. We're going to give you a little bit of information from each meeting, and we will handle those meetings individually. As the regular meeting got underway, and those of you who have followed our coverage of the county over the past several months are familiar with this. We've talked about this quite a bit. Don Stokes, road superintendent, has retired. Now, the county's been preparing for Mr. Stokes' retirement for quite some time, but it was official, has been official, and the county recognized him for 46 years of service on Monday. He began on August 14th, 1975, and has been a tremendous asset and a tremendous blessing to the citizens of Coffee County. Wendell Troop, the assistant road superintendent, will now take over as road superintendent in Don's place, and Buddy Jordan will take over as assistant road superintendent. The first item on the agenda was a public hearing to close a portion of Maplewood Road and the entirety of an unopened road that, had it been open, would have been known as Canterbury Drive. Matthew McCullough filed that petition to close that road. The previous owner of that property had plans to subdivide that, hence the roads going in and out, and then an undeveloped road that had been deeded to the county. Mr. McCullough bought it, said he has no plans at all to subdivide that property. It is just going to be his family home, and he would like to have that road closed. No one came and spoke against that, and the county approved that resolution, or approved that item with very little discussion. The next item on the agenda was a resolution to allow the tax commissioner to destroy old tax documents as she sees fit. Currently, the only two ways that those documents can be destroyed are through shredding or going to the landfill. The Heritage Station Museum has asked for some copies of old tax digests. These are public documents. There's nothing confidential in there at all, but the museum thinks that there might be something in those tax digests that would be of public interest. And in order to allow the tax commissioner to turn those documents over to the museum, the county had to approve a new records retention plan. So that is exactly what they did. The county also approved a resolution that will not require any more mobile home decals. Now, mobile home owners will still have to pay the taxes, but will not have to display mobile home decals on their homes. The county approved that with very little discussion. Couple of other items on the agenda with regard to road improvements, resurfacing, doing some drainage projects, making a few minor changes. Nothing major there. But there will be improvements scheduled for Callaway Drive, Larkspur Drive, Ashby Drive, and Sanibel Court. street and drainage improvements, and then also getting ready for the LMIG project as well. One minor change to the to a project north of town that would involve changing the name of the chairman. When the project was let, the chairman was Oscar Polk. His name was on the documents. Now the chairman is A.J. Dovers. So it had a little bit of housekeeping to do with that. So nothing major there. Now, there was, however, one major item on the agenda that caused resulted in quite a bit of discussion. There was a public hearing to rezone 5.85 acres located at 3623 Douglas-Broxton Highway from commercial to warehouse light industrial. Eric Teniente filed that application. Now, if you're familiar with that area, that's the old Carson Lumber and Building Supply property. There has been a cargo trailer plant operating out of there for a period of time, maybe somewhere around a year, something like that. Now, Don Brooks owns that property, and when he agreed to let Mr. Teniente open a cargo trailer manufacturing facility on that site, everyone thought, including the county, thought that the property was properly zoned. However, in the time since, the county has found out that it is not properly zoned. It was zoned commercial, and it needed to be warehouse light industrial. In the meantime, and during the time that Mr. Teniente has been manufacturing cargo trailers at that facility, residents at SAP subdivision have complained about noise coming from that facility. So they protested is not the right word, they opposed the rezoning request because, again, it's not rezoned properly, and they did not they did not want a manufacturing facility so close to their homes. The Planning Commission initially approved this request, but they did not know at the time that it had been some of the issues that have come up since. So after much discussion, including statements from Mr. Brooks, also from Mr. Teniente, and from others, the county did not approve the rezoning request. However, they did give Mr. Teniente 12 months from the meeting, 12 calendar months, to move his facility. So the cargo trailer plant that is operating out of Carson Lumber and Building Supply is going to have to be moved at some point in the next year to another facility, another piece of property in Coffee County, or it could possibly even move outside of Coffee County. There was another cargo trailer plant on the agenda with regard to zoning. The first reading of a rezoning request from Alfredo Coelho for 4.13 acres located at 2225 Highway 221 North from commercial, also commercial, to warehouse light industrial. That is the old Papa Gun Shop building. They have moved that facility to another piece of property, so that area is open. The county staff does not believe that needs to happen. They recommend denying that request. This was the first reading. They will hold a public hearing at the next meeting. So if you have any thoughts on that piece of property for or against, then you need to be at the next meeting, first Monday in March, and they will have the second reading and a public hearing. During the audience comments time, don't usually have comments at the county commission meeting, but on Monday, several citizens were in attendance. Representatives of the Coffee County Black Economic Coalition, and they had some questions for the county regarding the county's plans for its ARPA funds. Now, those of you, again, who have followed what we've done here at Douglas Now know that the City Commission has been discussing these funds, ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act, federal monies given to municipalities to use in any one of a number of ways. The city came up with several different initiatives to return a lot of that money to the citizens. The county is going to receive about $8 million, has already received about half of it or so, waiting on the second pot to come in. The county did a few things for its employees, but ARPA guidelines allow municipalities and allow governments to withhold up to $10 million of ARPA funds for operations. So the county had been planning to hold on to their money and use it for operations down the road. And I spoke with county officials after the meeting, and what they said is they're anticipating some future economic problems given where we are with supply chain, inflation, things like that. And also, private businesses here in Coffee County have raised their wages to the point that the county can't keep up. And one official told me, he said, we can't pay people $20 an hour like a lot of these facilities or these industries are here in Douglas and Coffee County. So we feel like we're gonna have some problems down the road, and we're gonna need that money in order to continue with our operations. So the county's plan has been to hold on to those funds and use them for operations. This did not sit well with the citizens who were in attendance at the meeting. Michael Newton was one of the citizens who spoke, and Mr. Newton said that he was going to keep coming back, and said we will keep coming back until the county decides to return some of this money to citizens. City Commissioner Olivia Pearson was also at the meeting, and she asked the county commissioners to have a meeting with citizens to assess needs and then figure out a plan or plans and initiatives to return some of the ARPA funds to citizens. There was no action on that and no further discussion. After a short break, the county moved in to the second portion of the meeting, or the second meeting, which was a joint meeting with the county and the school board to discuss the proposed redistricting map. Now, county has to redistrict its voting maps after or change its voting maps after each census. And again, we just went through a census period, and the population of Coffee County showed a net growth of 700 people. Now, we think it's a lot more than that, but that's what the census showed. So not a lot of changes with regard to our population. However, one thing that affected the voting districts in the past, inmates at the Nichols prison had been counted as a part of our overall population. They decided not to do that this year. So with regard to the voting districts, because inmates at the Nichols prison cannot vote, they are a part of our population, but because they can't vote, their numbers aren't reflected in the voting districts. So what happened basically as a result is that County Commissioner Jimmy Kitchens' district got larger, Commission Chairman A.J. Dover's district got smaller. So that was really it. And we do have pictures of both maps, and we are going to post those on the Douglas Now Facebook page here in a little bit. So you will be able to look at those, and you'll be able to see the effect that that those population shifts had on the voting districts. The county and the school board both approved that map unanimously. Once again, today's news break is brought to you by the Martin Center Preservation Company. Friday, February the 11th, Dumpster Funk featuring members of the Neville family and New Orleans Jazz and Funk Band will be here as a part of the Where Do We Go From Here tour. Opening up will be Eric Brigman and Friends of Mofro. You will definitely want to go see that. So once again, world-class entertainment right here in Douglas and Coffee County. You do not have to travel. In other news, on February 2nd, a traffic stop resulted in the largest heroin bust in the history of Coffee County. The Coffee County Sheriff's Office issued a press release and outlined the incident. Officers from the drug unit attempted to conduct a traffic stop on a vehicle driven by Kyler Merson. Mr. Merson fled from the deputies, and of course they chased. In the process, Mr. Merson struck a patrol vehicle during the pursuit before being apprehended after a precision immobilization technique, otherwise known as a pit maneuver, was conducted by a deputy. Mr. Merson's vehicle left the roadway, went into the old fruit stand on Highway 32, did not hit the main part of the fruit stand, did catch part of the storage building beside it, and Mr. Merson's insurance will have to pay for that. Once he was apprehended, they found a quantity of suspected heroin in the vehicle. They served a search warrant at his residence a while later and found an additional quantity of suspected heroin along with 2 firearms. He was arrested and charged with trafficking heroin, aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer, fleeing or eluding, possession of a firearm by a first offender, probationer, and other charges. The preliminary weight of the suspected heroin totaled about 5 ounces or 140 grams. Only 4 grams of heroin is needed for a trafficking charge in Georgia, so significantly more than the minimum amount. Officers from the drug unit also made the following arrests in unrelated incidents. On January 4th, drug unit officers executed a search warrant at a residence inside the city where they found an amount of suspected crack cocaine and a firearm. They arrested Antonio Tyron McQueen, charged him with possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. On January the 12th, officers from the drug unit located an individual identified as Darian Brantley at a convenience store in Douglas. Brantley was wanted on an active arrest warrant for violating the terms of his parole. During the incident, officers found that he had in his possession a trafficking weight of suspected methamphetamine. He was arrested and charged with trafficking methamphetamine. On January 20th, the drug unit conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle after observing a drug deal between its occupants and others. An individual identified as Gerardo Bustos Joyner was operating the vehicle, and they found him to be in possession of suspected methamphetamine, a gun, and drug-related objects. Joyner was arrested and charged with possession of methamphetamine, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, and possession of drug-related objects. On January 24th, officers from the drug unit conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle in which Eric Knowles was. Mr. Knowles was found to be in possession of a trafficking weight of suspected methamphetamine. He was arrested and charged with trafficking meth. That same day, officers from the drug unit conducted a search of a residence in Coffee County. As a result of the search, they obtained arrest warrants for Michaela Batten and James LaRue Batten for possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute. Michaela Batten was located on January 31st, and a traffic stop was conducted on the vehicle she was driving. At the time of the incident, she discarded a quantity of suspected methamphetamine prior to being stopped. As a result, she was charged additionally with possession of methamphetamine and abandonment of a dangerous drug. James LaRue Batten turned himself into the Coffee County Jail the following day. Also on January 31st, the drug unit conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle driven by Raul Sandajas, who was wanted by authorities for violating the terms of his probation. During the traffic stop, Sandajas was found to be in possession of a trafficking weight of suspected methamphetamine and other drugs. He was arrested and charged with trafficking methamphetamine, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of a controlled substance. Another incident that took place on Friday started here in Coffee County, ended up in Bacon County, and led to 2 arrests. Friday, an alert went out notifying area law enforcement that a stolen car was being driven by Cecil Dustin Hanna, age 35. About an hour after the alert went out, Bacon County officers saw the car parked at 116 White Fir Trail in Bacon County. They approached the home and saw Mr. Hanna attempting to leave. When he saw the officers, he turned around and ran back inside. The owner of the home, Nicole Lee Boatwright, age 44, would not open the door, according to a press release by the Bacon County Sheriff's Office. So officers forced their way inside, found Mr. Hanna hiding behind a couch, and arrested him on numerous outstanding felony warrants, in addition to possession of stolen property. During the operation, officers saw illegal narcotics in plain sight, and they charged Boatwright with possession of methamphetamine and possession of heroin. Heroin is apparently becoming a very, very popular drug in Coffee County. We have not seen a lot of heroin arrests recently, but now we are beginning to see more and more. The Chamber of Commerce recently gave out its annual award recipients, and here are those recipients along with the 2022 Chamber Board and Executive Board of Directors. Small Business of the Year, Norris Shoe Store. Industry of the Year, Walmart Distribution Center. Community Partner of the Year, Grace Point Baptist Church. The Gene Chambers Entrepreneur of the Year Award went to Matthew Baker, the owner of Chick-fil-A. The Jackie Wilson Women in Leadership Award went to Georgia Henderson of the City of Douglas, and the Community Spirit Award went to Brad Reiner. The 2022 Executive Board for the Chamber of Commerce, the chair is Dr. Tracy McClellan. We will be talking more about her in just a minute. First Vice Chair, Ben Floyd, Coffee Regional Medical Center. Second Vice Chair, Chad Guthrie of Ag South. The Treasurer is Paulette Brown of Wiregrass Georgia Technical College. The EDA President is Stuart Smith of Douglas National Bank. The past Chair, Kevin Elrod of First National Bank South. The 2022 Board of Directors are Cassidy Carter, Bay Carter Farms, Jeffrey Ingram, City of Douglas, Sean Knight, Cal Tippers Burger Company, Dr. Morris Lease, Coffee County School System, Lee Taylor, First National Bank of Coffee County, Christy Thomas, Coffee High School, Chris Watson, Grace Point Baptist Church, Kevin Kepler, Sunbelt Greenhouses, Bree Mercer, Make It Personal Monograms and Boutique, Sandy Sharp, Southwire, Reuben Spate, Greater Destiny International Ministries, Dr. Greg Tanner, South Georgia State College, Patrick West, City of Douglas Police Department, Savannah Holiday, Premium Waters, and Archie Risch of Chick-fil-A. Congratulations to all of those individuals. We mentioned Dr. Tracy McClellan just a few minutes ago. On Friday, January 28th, the Douglas Coffee County community celebrated the groundbreaking of the Medical Institute of South Georgia, located at 810 North College Avenue in Douglas. The Medical Institute of South Georgia is founded by Dr. Tracy McClellan and her husband, Leroy McClellan. Dr. McClellan currently owns and operates Chicote Health Career Center, a private post-secondary training facility designed to educate the community and provide fast quality training in healthcare, and has been in operation since 2006. Her business has grown exponentially and has become an incredibly valuable facility for South Georgia. The Medical Institute of South Georgia has sprung forth out of the Chicote Health Center. So, number of services will be offered there. You can see the construction beginning. If you're on College Avenue or if you're riding by on Walker Street, it's right there at the very end of North College Avenue, where North College Avenue and Walker Street intersect or tee into each other. They're already prepping the site. You can see work beginning there. That will be a valuable asset to our community. Congratulations to Dr. McClellan and her family. Once again, our news break today brought to you by the Martin Center Preservation Company. Come out to the Martin Center on Friday night and check out Dumpster Funk and Eric Brigman and Friends of Mofro. Going to be a fantastic show. Fantastic show. Dumpster Funk, the Where Do We Go From Here tour, is a nationwide tour, and Douglas and Coffee County is on their tour list. So you look at the venues they're playing, look at the cities they're visiting, and right here, Little Douglas, Georgia, and the Martin Center. It's going to be a fantastic show. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com, or you can find more information at the Martin Center Preservation Company's Facebook page. Wiregrass Georgia Technical College Foundation awarded multiple scholarships to help students complete their education and develop their skills. 6 students from the Coffee campus were among the 14 Wiregrass students who received scholarships. Those 6 students are Zadrian Moffitt, Industrial Systems Technology, the Premium Peanut Scholarship; Kerrigan Merritt, Design Media Production Technology, the Francis Lott Douglas Lions Club Scholarship; Cadence Adams, Advanced Patient Care, Roger Crenshaw Memorial Scholarship; Yovita Cabrera, Practical Nursing, Howard Jordan Scholarship; Abigail Abanza, Business Management, Ken and Cheryl Coffee Memorial Scholarship; and Justin Dodson, EMT, Marion H. Massey III Scholarship. If you or your business is interested in supporting students through these scholarships, please contact Chrissy Staley, Executive Director of Fundraising at Wiregrass Georgia Technical College. The spring sports calendar is beginning to heat up. We have South Georgia State College baseball underway. Swimming is still underway at the college. We also have softball at the college beginning to wrap up, beginning to start. The high school swim season is coming to an end, and we will have reports on all those sports moving forward. The one report that we can issue today, regards to South Georgia State College basketball team. Nick Giles scored 11 points over the final 4 minutes, including a game-winning basket with 4 seconds left in regulation to give the South Georgia State College Hawks a 73-71 win over the South Georgia Tech Jets. It was the fourth straight conference win for the Hawks, improving their record to 18-5 overall and 7-2 in conference play. The Hawks shot a little over 25% in the first half, which included just 1 three-pointer. The Jets were able to build a 13-point lead in the first half. The Hawks cut it down to a little bit, narrowed it a little bit by halftime, but not much. The Jets had to feel confident with where they were headed into halftime. However, the Hawks' fortunes would change in the second half. During the final 20 minutes, SGSC shot nearly 60%. Giles was the leading scorer for the Hawks with 24 points and 6 assists. Coffee County native and former Trojan Jace Moore had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 steals. Malik Crawford finished with 6 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 steals. The Hawks are in action tonight at home, which is in Waycross. They'll play Albany Tech here in just about an hour or so. Tip-off scheduled for 7 p.m. If you would like to watch the Hawks, they do play their home games in Waycross, and admission is $5. Children 5 and under are admitted free. Once again, our news break today brought to you by the Martin Center Preservation Company. Get you a ticket, go check out Dumpster Funk and Eric Brigman and Friends of Mofro Friday night. Again, Eric, a native of Douglas, fantastic musician, really good show. You will see world-class entertainment right here in Douglas and Coffee County. Go downtown, get you something to eat. You've got Cow Tippers, you've got Johnny's Pizza, you've got the Fern Bank, 317. You've got several places in town to eat. Go get you a meal and then head over to the Martin Center for the concert. It will be a fantastic night. I'm going to be there. I'm planning on going. Looking forward to having a really good time right here in Douglas and Coffee County on Friday night. Once again, tickets available at eventbrite.com or go visit the Martin Center Preservation Company Facebook page for all the information you could want and more about this and upcoming shows at the theater. Thank you guys for watching. This is Robert Preston Jr. with DouglasNow.com, and this has been an afternoon news break. Have a great evening.